we've got a few minutes before we begin, so I just was curious, does anybody have any non-Facebook related questions? The only reason being is, for those of you who are new to the group, because I do notice there's a couple of new faces, one of the main things that this group, we really want to make sure is that we only meet once a month. So if you have questions that come up regarding anything dealing with internet marketing, internet business, anything that can be websites or anything digital in that realm, I always want to make sure people leave having their questions being asked. Whether or not we get them answered, that's a different story. But we have a room full of, I mean, as I look through, there's some brilliant people in this room. So I by far, I think, I see a handful of, most of the people probably even know more than I do. So, if you are new, you will find that this is one of the most helpful groups in Santa Clarita. I've been doing this since 2009, 11, years. And I think we've only missed 2 months that we haven't actually done it. And my knowledge of internet marketing has grown a lot because of this group. So, and it's the people who come. So does anybody have anything in general that they want to ask that maybe we can at least get a little bit into before questions? We'll also have throughout the evening, this is, for those of you again who are new, this is a kind of an open thing. If I go too fast, well, normally if I go too fast, feel free to slow me down. Today's content, there's a lot to cover. So I have tried to make the presentation as easy as possible so that it doesn't really require me to go slow down too much. When it does get to, sorry, the bus is coming and Steve's getting thrown under. But when it gets to Steve's time, some of the stuff that he's going to be covering is pretty darn technical. Okay, and I'm leaving that to him to cover a lot of that stuff. But the good thing is, all in all, the general stuff about Facebook marketing is pretty easy. And that's the really cool thing about what I'm really excited about this is because this is something I think anybody can learn. There's a very simple formula. And it's pretty much, I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing how simple the formula is. And it's really, it can be covered probably 15 minutes. But of course, the expansion of the formula is where it actually gets really, where it works on how to make things. So I'm going to cover a lot of that. But the other cool thing is that Steve's going to be covering a case study that we were able to do with a spa in San Luis Obispo. And using this exact formula, how he set it up, everything from beginning to start, in 24 hours that we ran their ad, they got 15 bookings. Now for a spa who's a mom and pop, I mean, well, basically just one lady who runs this spa by herself, that's a lot of bookings in one 24-hour period. Okay. So we are trying to get it duplicated out here and launched yesterday. Unfortunately, I got sick most of last week. I was actually out of the office all week except for Friday. I worked from home because I didn't want to get these guys sick. And then the spa owner got the stomach flu on Friday, and her facial person who we were promoting the business for was also sick all week last week. So even though we got the stuff put in place, we couldn't launch until we knew everybody's going to be healthy and could actually do the work, at that point. So even today, when we're actually getting it started, we're doing the final touches. You will see there's a lot of small things that kind of do make a difference. An image, and I will cover that. An image that actually is a face will make a difference on an image that's a logo. There's actually a conversion rate difference that happens. And something small like that, switching it over, we could run the ad with an image of her logo or whatever she wanted, but she's spending money on the ads, so we wanted to make sure that we're maximizing every penny that she's spending on the ads. So we might as well try to get the extra 1 or 2% conversion if that face makes a difference. So all of these little things we're still putting into place. Some of the images still needed to be upgraded as well. But you'll see some pretty powerful stuff with this. So yes?
So you got the 16 to opt in, you booked the appointment. What did you use as a base?
As a what?
What did you use to get in the funnel?
Oh, okay, so we're going to show you all of that. We're going to show you the ads. We're going to show you the actual pages. We're going to show you the thank you pages, the email sequencing, and I'm going to give links so that if you want to look at them yourself at home, it's on, actually, for those of you who are not familiar with our website, it's scvinternetmarketers.com. I have business cards here that has it. But if you go to scvinternetmarketers.com, on the right-hand side, you'll see Facebook resource links. And these are all the links for all the images that I'm showing today. The only thing that's not a link there is the actual presentation, because I actually literally finished it at 5 o'clock today before I went to go eat. Because I'm sorry? SCV internetmarketers.com. So if anybody wants the business cards that has the web address and stuff on it, you go ahead and take them. Now there is my email address on there. For those of you who have not come here before, I tell everybody this. If you email me, I am absolutely horrible at responding back on email. Okay. If I showed you my email account, there's literally 26,000 unread messages. Okay. And a lot of them are actually read. A lot of them is actually spam too. I try to go ahead and look through every day for the ones. So don't email me on that one with really, don't get frustrated if I don't reply within 24 hours, I guess is the best way to put it. If I don't reply within 24 hours, send a second and say, hey, this is a second email. Because it could be your subject line. I didn't catch that it was actually a person. I get so much spam that comes into those accounts. So yeah.
On that, I have a question on, when you say about the logo and the image.
Yes.
Image being video?
I'll cover that, actually. Well, so yeah, so but this, yeah, there's a lot of little things that we'll be covering that will make a difference that you're going to see. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it tonight because I wanted to actually, even though we couldn't launch, even if it was only going to be today, I wanted her to go ahead and explain what the process was like to where we got today. Because it does make a difference on, like anything that's done well on the internet, seriously, there's no shortcuts, okay? But there's simple formulas. And if you're willing to kind of put the work in the right way, you can actually make things work right. So that's just one thing I wanted to make sure that's kind of make you aware of that. Okay, so we got a couple more minutes. Does anybody have any other questions? Just so you know, we do end at 8:30 officially. But we don't usually get out of here till about, most of us don't get out until about 9:30 because we, you know, the only thing that you can eat in here, as long as it's mostly Starbucks stuff from here. If it's not, no one's gonna say really much about it. But all we ask is that you throw away your trash at the trash can on your way out. So when Steve and I clean up at the end of the evening, it makes it a lot faster if we're not picking up everybody's trash around here as well. It's very casual that if you do need to leave, at any time the babysitter calls or whatever, if you're scheduled longer, by all means, just go ahead and excuse yourself and don't have to worry about it. Like I said, it is also a very open discussion. If you do have a question that you're dying to ask, I do try to pause within the presentation. If not, then we just kind of go in. Now, this is not typical. We don't really have normally a presentation, just so you know. Usually I have a subject matter that we can cover based on what happened in the last month. So next month, for those of you who are interested, last month we had a guy who talked about the Hexeter themes for WordPress, how they built their business for it, and how they're doing it. And they gave away free themes for WordPress on that. Has anybody taken advantage of that? Nobody? So next month, I built a website using the Hexeter theme. And I've been working on it every day, so it's a very, if I start on it, it's gonna go down a rabbit trail that's gonna take too long. So, but just so you know, I'm gonna explain how I built this website with the Hexeter theme on it, how ads were super easy to be put up on it, how there is some lack of flexibility when you're actually building somebody's pre-made themes, as always, so that there's some good and bad to it. But if you actually wanna build quick websites with WordPress, their themes are actually pretty darn easy to work with. One of the things that they claimed was that the speed was really good. I'm trying to figure out ways to optimize the speed even more because it doesn't seem, it's definitely lighter than a lot of other WordPress themes, but it's not as fast as I had thought when it's going to be super light because it's still WordPress. So I'm still trying to figure out ways. I know Steven had made some suggestions last time about speeding it up. So next month, I will be going over how I built this website, how I plan to monetize it with ads, because a lot of people are asking about that ad. I build a website, I have all this free content on it, I put ads on it, and people start coming and clicking on it, and I make money. So that's basically the nutshell of how that works, and I'm going to be showing this one particular site that I built that actually does it. So if you're interested, next month, that's what we're going to do it. I'm not going to do all the big announcements like we did, because usually that type of subject sticks about maybe 20 minutes. I kind of cover everything, and then we just ask questions of anything else that's in general. We're probably going to have questions about the Facebook marketing next month, so we'll be able to cover that. I'm going to leave open discussion time a lot more with that. But I will be covering the Hexeter theme and the building process that I went through. Some of you might get some great ideas to actually duplicate what I did with the website. You don't have to use Hexeter. You can use anything on it. But there's some pretty cool stuff that's been going on with that. Okay, does anybody have any questions yet? No, if you want to look at it, it's called BibleWordSearch.net. That's the website I've been building. So basically, I put Bible word search crossword puzzles all over it. There's a computer program that generates it. You stick it up to. You can actually solve the puzzle on the screen, and the software allows you to. And then you can print the worksheets and do that kind of stuff. My wife has a website, Kids Bible Worksheets, and it makes a couple $100 a month on the ads that it has on there. So I'm kind of following that theme, and then we're going to link together. Yeah, Deep John.
I don't really have a question, but I'd like to share an aha moment I've had recently.
Cool. Yes.
If you know me, you know I'm a video marketer and I love to make YouTube videos. And I've heard about TubeBuddy for years, but I didn't know what it was. And I used Firefox, and I got a notification that TubeBuddy was available for Firefox, and they've got a free version.
Oh.
So I grabbed it, and I was astounded.
I agree. I started using
Absolutely astounded.
if you are a YouTuber of any way or thinking about going down the YouTube market, keep your eye open for TubeBuddy specials. I'm going to tell you that right now because I got a lifetime license on a special. There's a website called AppSumo, AppSumo, SUMO.com. They'll send you some specials all the time, but there are some really specials like deposit photos for $35. You get 100 of them that you can download. Some fantastic, unbelievable, phenomenal deals, and TubeBuddy was one of them for a lifetime license for like $47. And how much is it now? $99 a month typically?
The top end is $39 a month.
Yeah.
You can find a 20-25% discount. You pay by the year, you get another 20 off. So I think I bought the year for $280. $49 sounds good. If you run across that again, let me know.
Yeah. So how many of you actually subscribe to the SCV Internet Marketers? I mean, get my emails when I send them out about like this stuff. Okay. How many of you want to know if I get like some killer deals like that information? Okay. I mean, I really don't like to promote using that website. I'll do it every once in a while, but there are some things that I really think I should promote because like
pretty much every AppSumo deal. Like, oh my gosh, did you see that?
I know it's dangerous between the two of us. Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of times AppSumo, sign up for yourself on it. They will give you deals, lifetime deals for stuff that's usually like $50 a month. You can get it for $50 one-time lifetime deal. I mean, and sometimes they have a little bit things missing, but a lot of the little things you don't really need. It's killer. So, but those are, and some of the other people reach out to us and give us free. The Hexeter themes, I forgot what the link is, but if you're interested, I can also ask if I can do the promotion again because the guy who did the presentation last month gave us all a free theme. And that's what, $39 or something like that, or $19 theme. So I can give the link out again and ask them. Yes.
I tried to download it about 2 days later and it expired.
Okay, so there's an
2 days after the
oh yeah, I got it like a couple days after that too. Okay, I'll ask them about that and I'll send it out again because it's actually a pretty cool theme. It works out pretty well. Oh, so TubeBuddy, what it is it's like an add-on for YouTube. But for instance, you can type in a competitor's video that you might want to do something similar to, and it'll tell you all the best keywords to have inside your keyword stuff in that way.
You can take all their tags.
Yeah, you take all their tags and put it on yours.
It will eliminate the duplicates. It figures out which tags rank the best, and it will rearrange everything automatically.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's analytics to it that's actually really powerful. Yeah, and it's a browser plugin. Yeah, TubeBuddy.
What really got me off the cliff was the A/B testing. That's why I paid the big bucks. Because I'm able to make changes on the same video, and it runs them against each other doing A/B testing. And so far, I've got 3 being tested right now. And I'd say average on 15-20%.
That's awesome.
So it's just amazing.
Yeah, it does a lot of stuff.
It has a thumbnail generator, which
Oh yes.
I kind of scoffed. That's free.
Yep.
And you can make a thumbnail, and you can run it on the video. It just doesn't save that particular thumbnail. So, but it'll stay on your video as long as you want.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
TubeBuddy is but the only thing is with the AppSumo one, you can only use it on one channel. That's the only thing, one login. So I should have bought a couple of licenses when it came out. But nonetheless, it is a pretty cool tool to actually use. So that's one. So I would like to get started with the Facebook presentation. So for those of you who are new to the Meetup group, welcome. My name is Chris Miyamoto. Stephen and I run a company called Solid Search Marketing. We're an internet advertising company. And we do primarily now, most of our business is actually helping Amazon sellers with their sponsored ads, which is their pay-per-click ads on that way. but that is not the main focus of our business where we really wanted it to ever go or what our skills have been. We really wanted to service other businesses, not just Amazon sellers. Over the last few months, the Amazon platform has changed considerably. So a lot of our clients have been hurt by it, which means they actually have dropped a lot of our services because their businesses have been hurting. So we are transitioning over to things that we've always wanted to, that we have a lot of good skills on. And one of the things that we've really picked up on is Facebook. We're both AdWords certified. So we love the AdWords platform for Google advertising. And for the longest time, I've always thought that AdWords was the most powerful advertising tool on the planet. And I would tell people that. There is nothing that could target as well as AdWords could when there's a hot buyer for a certain subject and they're searching on it for an iPhone 7 case. They can search on Google or to find it, or they'll probably even go to Amazon, one or the other, or any subject matter that you have, whatever business you have. If someone is searching your business on Google, we could get an ad up there that could potentially entice them to get to your website so we could drive traffic. That's really powerful because then you're actually fishing in a pond where the fish are hungry. That's really what it was. So with that being in mind, like anything else that's out there, there's other platforms that are out there that can actually do other things, like Bing is also one of them. So what I want to do is focus on Facebook, because the more we started looking into Facebook a few months back, sometime about third quarter of last year, we started looking into Facebook marketing because we knew that that was something that was also really, really powerful. And we were getting targeted on our Facebook feeds continuously by this one guy that kept on saying how good Facebook marketing is. If you run an agency, that you should do it. Now, I don't know how he knew that we ran an agency or what we did, and this was something that would interest us until now. Now I know how he knew, because now I'm also getting targeted by probably 7 different Facebook marketers a day. But that guy was first. Steven showed me it. We jumped in. We paid thousands of dollars for this guy's course because we really wanted to know the insights and accelerate our knowledge as fast as possible. But he wanted to skip out. So we actually started learning it. One of the things he tells you to do is to go ahead and do a case study. We took what we learned. We tried this case study. And like I said, we had some fantastic results. The first ad that was run, 24 hours, got him 15 bookings. Not leads, 15 bookings. The people paid to book. And of those 15 people, 6 of them actually bought an upsell before they even walked in the door. So they had a double sell on that. And I'm sorry? For a spa. Yeah, San Luis Obispo Spa. So we're running the same campaign out here in Canyon Country with the other spa, Balance Point Spa, who's one of our members that comes to our group. And we're going to see what happens with that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it launched because of some illnesses that we came across. So I want to go over some crazy stats about Facebook. Why you should consider learning more about Facebook. 1.86 billion active users per month on Facebook. Now, of that 1.8 billion, 1.2 billion are daily active users. So there's 1.2 billion people on Facebook daily actually using the platform. 47% of those people who use Facebook only use their phone or mobile device to get onto Facebook. And of that revenue that comes into Facebook, 78% of the revenue comes from mobile users, or the ads that are generated on that. Okay, there are 500,000 new users added every day to Facebook. Okay, that's 6 new profiles created every second. 6 new people are on that. Now, there are only 4.3 people born every second globally. But there's 6 people, every second. So it's a growing platform. Now there's something like over 80 million false profiles, but then again, there's still profiles that are continuously growing on this. And it is not, now this growth might be slowing a little, but it is still a growing platform. Don't let anybody tell you that Facebook is dying. It is not. It is actually still growing. These stats are actually from late 2016 and as early as 3/17. Okay, these are the stats that I got. I actually will have links to these stats actually, the links are on scvinternetmarketers.com on the right-hand side. There's actually links to these stats so that you can actually source them from where I got them. 38.6% of the world's online population is on Facebook. So almost 40% of people who go online are on Facebook. And what's funny is 1 out of 4 non-Facebook users will look at photos or posts on somebody's Facebook account. So they're actually still accessing Facebook even though they're not really on the platform themselves. Okay, of that, 22% of the time on mobile devices in America is on Facebook. So 1/5 of all the mobile data that's being used is on Facebook. Now, combine Google and YouTube together, they only take up 11% of the data that's used per month. So Facebook, that's how powerful, how much people are using Facebook in comparative. Facebook users average about 20 minutes per day on the site. 100 million hours of video are consumed daily on Facebook. 350 million pictures are uploaded every day. Videos make up about 3% of the content on Facebook, but the highest rate of engagement is all video. So I don't know if you noticed, but I was kind of scanning my Facebook wall today, and I think 1 out of every 10 posts was not a video. So Facebook obviously is favoring the videos because it keeps the users on their website. And one fun fact, that posts published on Thursday and Friday get the highest engagement. For anybody who was ever wondering when is the highest engagement, that's just something that came out of that. So these are the sources, like I said, they are on the website that you'll be able to go ahead and get that. Now, for the most part, Facebook is still an underutilized tool for advertising. And that's why it's kind of really cool to get into understanding what it can do now. And it's young in its growth cycle. Now, on the internet, there are niches and little subject matters that grow. And as they grow, they go through some cycles. So I'm talking things like when Google AdWords had first come out, when eBay first came out, affiliate sales or niche marketing had first come out, Amazon Kindle books, everybody was talking about that. When SEO was popular, there was a cycle that went through. AdSense also, when people started making money using AdSense, they said that's a dead way to make money. I'm telling you right now, it's not, but they have these cycles. So what is this? There's a 4-step cycle. There's the early adopters. These are the people who have it really easy because they are so hungry to learn it that they try anything and it seems to work. And that's the thing. I mean, if you think about eBay, people were throwing all this stuff on eBay early and they were just making millions on it, right? And then what happens is the mid-adopters. The mid-adopters are the ones that are actually starting to see a trend grow. They actually are taking what they learned from the early adopters and they start to go ahead and really start to fine-tune a system so that they create systems. It's not just trying everything and everything's working. They decide they're going to pick something and do it, and they start making millions on that way. That's typically what happens. The mid to late adopters, they find a tighter system now. What they do is they take what they see is going on, they see the growth, they hear all of this thing that's going on, they develop now tighter systems that they can teach, and then they start to do a lot of cheap courses out there. This is when you know that this is a mid to late adopter season of this. And everything gets harder to do, and it starts to get cost more because there's a whole fluctuation of this growth that happens in certain niches. It happened with almost everything. Even Amazon right now it's I would say mid to late adopting season. It's not a late adopting season yet, because the late adopters, they find everything over competitive and saturated, and they're left with the market is really left with only long-term pros who are really making money. Okay, Facebook right now is probably in a mid-early adoption stage. Okay, a lot of people have done a lot of testing. Right now, the courses that are out are in the thousands because they are only going to go ahead and give it out and we're going to see it in probably about 3 to 4 years. We're probably going to see courses out there for $200 to $300 doing exactly what we're showing you. That's not going to work nearly as effectively. So if you do it now, you still have about a year out to 2 years to really master the formula. And the formula is not that hard. You're going to see that tonight. It's super easy. So that's what I still see as far as Facebook and the process of that it's going through, as far as the advertising side of it. Okay, so Google AdWords versus Facebook. There's 2 different platforms on there. Now I say that I think one is more powerful than the other. I think actually they're really quite equal because there are people on Google who search for information and you can target them by the information they're searching. On Facebook, you can target them by what their likes are in general. That's pretty much, you can just throw ads in front of them and you can intrigue them and they can actually get, they don't even know that they were hungry for something like that, but based on what Facebook is able to do for you, you can do it. So you can actually target by demographic and psychographic targeting. And I didn't know what psychographic was, so Stephen had to explain to it, but then I had to look it up. But psychographic targeting is the study and classification of people according to their attitudes, aspirations, and other psychological criteria, especially when it comes to market research. So when you're talking about psychographic type targeting, you're basically targeting people based on their likes. I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, and their interest. Okay, so now with the search ad, of course, you're targeting by their search, and that's the 2 different. So there's 2 different.
You can do it on Facebook.
I'm sorry?
You can do that on Facebook by whatever.
The psychographic and demographic targeting.
You can do search, whatever they're searching for.
No, that's only on Google. So combined, the 2 can be very powerful if you're actually advertising on both places, but they both have different places. The only thing is I'm actually more liking about Facebook is that You don't have to wait for someone to be searching. You can actually drive sales just by hitting some soft buttons during the advertising. And that's pretty cool about it. Now, when it comes to the advertising world, there's a lot of different channels that you can advertise through. I mean, even in today's market, we have also direct mail marketing that still works. And actually, Stephanie Milady here, actually from Milady Direct Marketing, they actually are one of the, I don't know, I would say premier direct marketers in Southern California. And it's really not a lot different by doing a different type of marketing to touch people in different ways. The direct mail marketing does exactly the same thing that Facebook can do. But when somebody opens their mailbox, you have their attention in a different way. You're not being, if somebody grabs something out of their mail, they're not being distracted by all the other ads or a video that's moving of a cute cat, you know, on your screen. You can actually grab their attention. So there's all these different ways that marketing happens, and Facebook is now just going to be another avenue for people to go if they're on Facebook. The problem with Facebook is it only targets people who are on Facebook. How many of you in this room are not on Facebook daily? And that's about right. There's always a handful of people that are not about right. But how many of you are usually on Google at least a few times a week doing a search? How many of you are not a few times a week? And the reason why I'm asking about this week is because my point is when you're on Google, you're searching for something. And if that is your subject that you are selling, you can actually target an ad at that time. So that you have an opportunity. There's two opportunities in both ways. So there's two ways to look at it. Facebook is the other half of the pie, though. Since about 40% of the population is on Facebook, you might as well be on there. Okay, so the scary power of Facebook targeting. This is actually really, the more I think about it, it actually freaks me out and how powerful it is. Because it actually records almost everything that you're doing, every transaction, every motion that you're doing on Facebook, it's actually recording. And you've given it so much information, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I've also heard on this recent podcast, the guy was having a phone conversation with his friend, had nothing to ever do with any subject matter that was on his Facebook. When he was done with his phone conversation, he started going through, he started having ads for that subject matter. Yeah. Yes, and we also tested.
Add espresso, add espresso,
yes.
add espresso.
So
I turn on Facebook and there it is.
There's actually, I've been told that if you look through their terms and agreements of their terms of service, they are allowed to use their microphone. If you're logged in, it can listen to your microphone and take up information and data on that. Okay, yes?
I also heard that if you cross paths with someone, it puts them on your like friend feed. So I see a lot of people on your friend feed that you like never recognize. It's just if you cross paths with them in any public place or anything.
Yes, that is, I wouldn't doubt that. That's actually really interesting. It can know where you're hanging out.
And it's just like, and then all of a sudden I'll see a pop up on my Facebook like, come on.
Isn't that weird? You know what really upsets me is that I see all of these people suggested for friends that are actually in my Gmail contacts. And I never gave permission, and I don't know when it actually took it over to do that. And these people are never people I would ever talk to. I don't know if those people see me as a potential friend to do back. But it really upsets me that they've actually gone into my Gmail, all my contacts, and everybody that's in there is actually showing up. But you do that. I never did, and that I purposely knew. So I must have, the thing is, when they do a policy, they can change the policy on you, take all your stuff, and it's up to you to actually turn it off sometimes. And they say, oops, you know, kind of thing. I mean, it's kind of scary.
I wonder if that happens when you de-update, because you know how they force you.
Exactly. I don't know when it's, but it started way back when we started on Facebook on the first time, and I'm like, well, no, he's trying to turn back the clock now. It's already on there, so I left it. So the next slide, I just want you to know we have some short links. Another one that you really want to take a look at, because this is going to be mind-blowing for you. Everybody should look at this some way, somehow, but scvinternetmarketers.com/FB ad targeting. What you're going to see is a 3-page PDF, but what I want you to show, and what I want to show you is just, this is one small portion of it, of what Facebook advertisers can target you for. In this behavior section, as an advertiser, I can look for people who have 1 to 9 lines of credit. How would Facebook know that? Can anybody tell me how you think Facebook would know that?
They purchase data from third parties.
Exactly. They purchase data from the credit bureaus. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. The other thing is, I mean, I know a lot of you won't be able to see this. That's why I had the link that you can look at this. But it can tell if you have high-end department store credit cards, which means like Macy's is probably sharing their database with Facebook. Facebook has the money to spend to go ahead and buy these databases. And you give agreements to a lot of these places to do that. So for those of you who have businesses, Purchase behavior. If you have a dog business, we have dog food and products. I can target people who are dog owners, dog products, pet care products who have purchased. This section here says purchase habits. Okay, the purchase habits of stuff that you buy, beauty accessories, books, children apparel. If you've gone traveling, it knows where you've traveled based on your GPS. You know, where you're going all over the place. You can target people who have been to Hawaii lately and then say, want to go back or something along that line. Oh, yeah. So if this one is actually, again, scvintermarkets.com/FB ad targeting. That's the short. Yeah.
Target by IP. GPS turned off.
Correct. They
I usually have GPS turned off to save battery, and I only turn it on when I use mapping.
Yes. They know the difference of where you live and where you work based on how much time you spend at home versus work, and when you are during the day, they can actually get a good estimate of that. Yep.
I was at a sporting goods store with my husband looking at the Yeti ice chest.
Uh-huh.
And when I got home we were at the store, we weren't talking or anything. And when I got home that night, I was getting ads on my.
Yes.
Whoa.
So here's the thing is Target actually is in this. It's part of the case study of that. I think Babies R Us was one of them. But what can happen is, and Google is actually part of this study as well. You can search for car seat carrier. Toys R Us or Babies R Us comes up, and then you click on an ad that comes in there. It pixels you. It pixels your phone, okay? And then it knows that you went to the store, and it knows where you walked through the store and how long it took you to find your baby carrier. And it also has a good probability of knowing when you and if you purchased it. But Facebook as well has all of these powers behind it as well to go ahead and see the data that's coming out from different stores, especially like Target. There is a study done that even Target can actually now send out mailers to people who might even be pregnant before they know they're pregnant based on the stuff they're buying. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So there's a lot of things that they can target. And this is just one small section, because what blew me away is how would they know about my credit cards and debit cards, and figured the only way that they know that is they're actually getting data from a lot more third-party services than you can imagine. So I'm not here to scare you about Facebook. I'm here to tell you it's very powerful to be used. Yeah. Yes, I do. It's actually fantastic for business to business. So that because you can target people who are dentists. Okay, so another example is what is the biggest employer here in Santa Clarita? Magic Mountain, maybe?
Yeah.
Princess Cruises. Okay. There was a woman who runs the Runner's Lane, Flo. That's a runner store out here, and she has. I invited her to come, but I wanted to give her an example because this came to mind. But you can actually target people who work at Ralph's, CVS, Walgreens, the Henry Mail, Providence, anybody who has jobs that are on their feet. Okay, she has a shoe that is perfect for people who are on their feet all day walking around, and it's supposed to be the most comfortable shoe. And so she could actually create an ad, target just those people. Hello, Santa Clarita retail workers, or Ralph's worker. You know, you could say target people who work for Ralph's in Santa Clarita. It's Ralph's workers. These are the shoes that are most recommended now. Have more energy throughout your day because pain drains your energy, right? Kind of thing. I mean, you can make an ad targeting the very specific people where they work. I mean, you can target so many. Like I said, this is one small section of a 3-page PDF that's available. So there's a lot that can be done. Yes.
If I'm selling not a thing like a chair or something, I'm selling art. How do I know?
Okay, so we're going to go into that. I'm gonna make a lot of you that actually sell stuff. Your brains are just gonna spin all night because you're gonna start thinking about how this is. That's gonna be one of the keys to this making Facebook work. So here's the 4 keys, or there's 4 things that actually will make Facebook work. And I like the car analogy when there's 4 things, because you need to have all 4. If one of these have a flat tire on a race car, your one is gonna be really crippling. Okay, and it can actually, well, like in a race car, if your tire blows out and you keep on trying to run it, does it end up usually costing you more money than actually if you had stopped and fixed it right on the side of the road? You have to buy a new rim, or could ruin your alignment or anything else. But first one, clearly defined audience. That's the number one, that's the first key. Okay, and all of them are equal. There's not one that's more important than the other. You need to do all four. The second one is you need to have a really great offer on the ads. Okay, that's going to make the most successful advertising running. 3 is an optimized landing page that actually does help finish off the sale. And 4 is a limited time upsell that can actually then close the deal and actually do more for you as well. So this is where it actually all begins with the Facebook marketing segment. Okay, so I'm going to break down each one now. The first key to the successful Facebook marketing, clearly defining your target audience that will most likely buy your product. So like art, okay? What you need to do is you need to use that, like that PDF, that sheet, and look through it and figure out who your best audience is. Okay, you need to know, this is, how many of you know Anthony Frank? There's a lot of you who know Anthony Frank. He actually is a Facebook marketer from way back when it was in its early stages, really infancy. He ran a seminar for Facebook marketing that I did, and all he did was focus on people, on your business, figuring out who your market or your target is. And I was thinking there, I think it was, who else went? Did you go to that? How long was that class? Was it 3 hours or 2 hours? 3 hours. And I was like, isn't there more to this? And it was so important. And you know what? Back then, my impatience got the better of me. Had I really understood how, I mean, it was pretty amazing how deep he dug. And when we went to go and interview the spa out here to find out their demographic, psychographic target market, that was a 2-hour meeting as well. And Stephen is a master of just digging and digging and digging. And the thing is, it sometimes takes 25 minutes before you hear the one golden nugget of the one niche market that nobody else is targeting. Now, that's the thing. How many of you are advertising with Facebook ads on Facebook right now? You're using Facebook ads on okay. So we have about, I'd say about almost half the room. And this is an internet marketing room. How many of you use Google Ads? Okay, that's about, I'd say about a third of the room on that way. Now, when I talk about Facebook advertising, I'm not talking about boosting posts, right? Most of you are actually creating ads and putting it up there and sending it out. Great. Okay, so this is still an early market. How many of you that actually raised your hand, can I have your hand to raise up, that use Facebook ads again? If you have competitors, put your hand down. On Facebook, competitors on Facebook that are doing exactly what you're doing, that you see ads, their ads. How many of you? So there's still a few hands that don't have competitors on there. There's you know what? There's a lot of people. Now, what market are you in? What industry? Yes. Okay. So the industries with a lot of money are already breaking to the market because there's already the second phase of growing at this point. The medical Band-Aids, do you have any competition in that right now? That'd be interesting. But do they advertise on Facebook?
They don't do the funnels. They don't quite. Dynex has kind of discovered a little bit about how to do the opt-in page in the funnels.
Okay.
But they're not quite doing it yet.
Okay. Yeah, and so that's the thing. There is still, the thing is, if you actually kind of figure this out a little earlier now, before all the competition jumps in, you're going to have a huge advantage because you'll actually know your demographic and your psychographics earlier than the rest. Because that's actually still part of the process. It's still so early, everybody's still learning who their target markets really are. And what's crazy about it is who you think your target market really is, sometimes is not. When you start using Facebook, you're like, where did these guys come from? Why are they buying? You had no idea. Okay, so that's one of the things you want to do is you really want to dig in pretty deep and you want to ask yourself a lot of different questions about it using everything as, what do they call it? As prejudice? What was the word? It's a bias. Yeah. Because it actually makes a difference. Different races buy different stuff. Different ages buy different stuff. Different genders buy different stuff. So you want to break it down as finely niched and tuned. Yeah, have no filter. No PC here. Yes. So when you're doing it and you're putting that together, you kind of have to do that because they're the ones who are buying. And you know what? If you want to be general and broad, then you might as well just put a billboard up, outside. I mean, but if you want to target your market to make the most out of your money, that's where it's going to happen. Now, here's why you want to be so calculated and the way you want to do this.
If you know your competition, just go to their website. Start out with just a search of their website. There's a tool called the Pixel Helper.
Yeah, that's
a Facebook Pixel Helper. And if you go on their website, it'll highlight blue, and you'll be able to see, okay, they have a Facebook Pixel on there. They're retargeting you, or they're going to retarget you with Facebook. That's half the answer.
Yeah.
Because they could not have it still advertised to you, but that's just one way to kind of take a look at it.
So the Facebook Pixel Helper, it's free, and it's a Chrome plugin, right? It uses Chrome plugin that you can just add onto your browser that way, and then you can actually check. You'll know if they're using Facebook marketing or targeting or retargeting, because if you go to their website, it'll actually have that thing light up for you. But you should actually use it so that when you create your pages, you should be using it so you can test to see if your pixel's firing. Okay, so it's a free tool that everybody should. I didn't put it in presentation, but that is definitely something you want to go ahead and grab. The Chrome plugin called Facebook Pixel Helper. Okay, one of the reasons why you also want to target really deeply, like AdWords, Facebook also gives more credit and benefit to those who are getting more clicks on their ads. The higher your click-through ratio, that means the higher the percentage of people click on your ads that see it, the cheaper your ads become. Tremendously cheaper in some cases. Okay, so the better targeting your market and your ad is relevant to them, and they click on it, the better your actual rates will be on Facebook. But it's also just better marketing that way. You're not going to be wasting on curiosity clicks on people wondering. Yes?
So you can target a specific company, like you said, Pinterest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can get that narrow. Can you target specific people?
Yes, you can. Yes, there's actually Facebook stalking, and there was a technique that was used. Nobody really uses it this much anymore, but if you know everything about somebody, what year they graduated, what high school, where they live now, where they work, what age they are at, what their income is, and you put all those filters in, and it's going to be a very small. Now, if the filter's too small, it's not going to show. But in the past, you could actually do that, and you could actually put their name. Hey, John Doe, of Santa Clarita on Oak Street. Yes, so I'll go into that too. But you can also target by mailing. The cool thing about Facebook now is when you have an audience that keeps coming. So if all this whole room comes to one of my websites and everybody clicks on it and visits it, it builds an audience. So Facebook will look at everybody's profile basically, or what you are like, and it builds an audience, and it kind of relates everything that everybody has in common. And it builds, what you can do is you can actually tell Facebook, target the like audience. So anybody who has similar profiles as to what we're in this room, you can target millions of people throughout the United States of all of these type of people. So when you start to really, it's just kind of a general audience type person. The probability of this person will have the same likes as these people, all this type of thing. So one thing it's going to probably look at is that we all like business. We all are interested in marketing. And it'll start to target people like that. So it could actually it builds these audiences, which is really powerful on top of that. So when you start building your audiences, it can actually start to do that. The more refined your market gets, the more interested ads are shown to your people, and the less likely you are to get curiosity clicks, which means the higher likely you get conversions as well. So that's why the audience is super important. And it's like putting bait out to those who are going to want it. Like, putting candy out in front of a bunch of kids kind of thing. I mean, they're going to want it. That's how to make sure that you're getting the market. So that's the first key. The second key is, I'll read out. The second key is successful Facebook marketing is to have an offer that the target audience will really want on an ad that clearly promotes the offer and solves a problem. Now, the next slide, I'll show you an actual ad of the spa that we used. Okay, so we targeted for spa. We figured out most of our audience is female. Most of our audience is a certain age group. Now we went a little broader to see if we could get certain things, and then we kind of ran that. But the promotion is one of the most key elements of this. In fact, if your promotion is not strong enough, you might as well, I wouldn't say not use Facebook, but you might as well realize that it's going to be a lot harder because you want something that's going to attract. Now, if you don't have a promotion that you can give away, that's something, then make something. Give it away free, if you have to. The spa owner in Canyon Country didn't have a $19 promotion that we could offer that she had as a service. So she created one. It's a mini service that she was able to do. And she put it out there. So that's one thing we're going to be running. So have something in mind, but and promotions are really, for the business-minded, for those who have been in business long enough to have seen a lot of business running out there, it actually is a catapult to many, many businesses, ventures that are out there. So take, for instance, Black Friday. Why does Best Buy have these televisions for 20% of what they normally would cost out there? Yes, and why does it matter that people come to the store? They buy other stuff, right? So you're going to upsell them. And even Amazon sellers. As Amazon sellers, we're taught to run some crazy promos to get people to get interest in your stuff. And then you get sales momentum. Now, for Amazon, it actually boosts your ranking. So that was one thing that we are actually doing to go ahead and help get our sales momentum up there. But it also does gain goodwill with people that are out there. People start to share your product, and other purchases might be bought. When I did Amazon promotions to sell my product, I gave it away for, I think it was $2 or $1 for a $30 pet spray. Every sale I made on a promotion, I got a regular price sale from the momentum and the thing that was coming around. So yeah, promotions are really important. When I used to work for Long's drugstores, one of my jobs was to go around and manage and open brand new stores. I'd hire a bunch of people. We'd have these grand openings. Huge toilet papers for 99 cents. I mean, those bundle rolls to get people in the door. Coca-Cola 12 packs for 99 cents. And we're losing a ton of money, but it was to get people in the door. So the second thing that happens, and there's a book I mentioned a few months back called The Power of Habit. If you go to a spa for the first time, and that's the first time and only time you've ever gone to a spa, and you want to go back to a spa again, where are you a lot more likely to go to a spa the next time you want to go? To the same one. And it's because your subconscious mind has a lot of its fears taken away. Even one time doing something starts to create a habit. And that's been proven. So it's very powerful to get someone used to seeing your stuff. Don't be afraid of promotions and to be part of your expense. If you're going to spend a lot of money on somebody helping you do something anyway, like build your website, it's part of your expenses to do a promotion. That should be part of it. So think about promotion that be done, because this is one of the main key elements, again, for successful Facebook marketing. The other thing is that when you also get someone to click on your ad, Facebook does what's called pixel somebody, which means it creates a profile. It also knows that they're there, that they came on your website. And then that way, even if they don't buy, you can actually have ads follow them around on Facebook at that point on. Okay, Google does the same thing. You can put a Google retargeting pixel, so if they land on that, then they can follow you on other websites as well. That's off Facebook if they're doing it. So you want to be able to do that as well. The Facebook pixel is very powerful, especially if promos are actually driving people over, because there's some crazy stat like 80% of people switch devices per day. And I counted it. I actually touch 4 devices on an average workday. My phone, my iPad, my laptop, and my desktop computer. And sometimes my office, if I don't do one, I can go to 5 devices. How many of you touch more than one device a day that connects to the internet? Yes, 80%. It's about this. Wow, this is almost 100%. So a lot of times people might see your ad, they click on it, but they're at work. They can't buy it right now. They can't look at it. But if they go home and they forgot about it, but they jump on Facebook and your ad pops up again because they've been retargeted, you can actually show a different ad. Hey, the special is still on, is what the ad will say. It's not going to be the same ad. It'll be a different ad. Don't forget, you can still get the special until midnight. And you can, oh yeah, about to miss out. Make the urgency. Yeah, exactly.
You only have 75,000 left.
So it's really, really powerful to actually have that, because your conversion rate goes up on that there. The other thing is you can get referrals off of the promo when people start sharing it, so you don't have to spend on ads. They'll tell their friends, and those friends will actually come in and actually pick up stuff on there as well. And then the one thing that's I really want to stress is that a lot of people don't seem to know the lifetime value of their customer. You might want to help them figure it out, but that is a kind of an important factor of knowing how much they should be investing in Facebook advertising, the promos, because a $19 ad can actually turn into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for some businesses. like dentists. You know, I mean, dentists do promotions. Where did the card go? Oh, here. So I got this through the mail. This is $49 for a new patient cleaning. Statistically, over the next 4 or 5 years, if this became my regular dentist, I'd probably spend about a few $1,000s. You know, that's something that's really easy to go ahead and do it. There are some dentists that actually really know their numbers. They say a $19 promo to get them in there. Some will, some won't stay, but those who do stay will actually make up the cost, and they know their numbers that it'll be worth their time. So those type of small things should actually be thought of. You know, I mean, we get flyers from dentists all the time like this. They should really be advertising more on Facebook. I don't hardly see any dental ads on my Facebook feed. So there's not a lot of, and you know, you can target by area. So I know in this area, I live here, I'm always on Facebook in this area. I don't see any dental ads. It's really strange. But I get these. You know, someone could target me specifically in certain ways. It's really powerful.
And yet, you see people asking for referrals for dentists.
Yes.
People say, do you know a good dentist?
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
You know.
you're right.
So the other thing, yeah. So the other thing I was going to say, make sure keep if you have a local business or a business that's online that actually is on Yelp, keep your Yelp profiles up. Because a lot of times they may actually visit you and then they'll jump over to Yelp to see your reviews, depending on the type of services that are out there. So keep your Yelp profiles strong. And that's one thing that you want to make sure you do. Okay, so key number 3. So here's the sample of key number 2. This is what the ad looked like. This is for the San Luis Obispo. This is the actual ad that we ran for the San Luis Obispo ad. And I'm going to have Steven actually explain a lot more of the details of the technical side of this. But basically, it's $19 for a wrinkle and dry skin facial that came in there. And then, of course, there's a $20 upsell that came out after. So this is the example of a really good deal that came in an ad there.
So they clicked in, and then when they bought that, they got offered another fucking funnel, they got offered an upsell right then and there.
So let's go to key number 3. That's going to actually, so the key to the third key is to have a landing page that is very highly relevant and corresponds with the ad. You don't want to have any confusion. If they saw $19 on this, the first thing that should be showing up on there, the first thing that shows up on there is the same special, closing the deal. Okay, so it should be one consistent with the same offer that was the ad. It should have a strong call to action. Book now. Make it, you know, limited time on there. Get the user to call, fill in the form right away. It should have a tracking pixel. Okay, should have a, you got to have a tracking pixel on that to make sure that you know that where they came from, and also to track them where they're going after that as well. To also know if they converted. Yes. It's not on, we don't put it on Facebook. You actually create your own page because you can do a lot more with the design and make it a lot easier for people just to do things with it. Okay, we also highly recommend you put a call tracking number installed on the website. That's call tracking, which means that if they dial, that it actually, Facebook knows that it triggers a call on that way, or that it also can record. There are a lot of systems out there that actually record phone calls for you, so you can actually do it. Now, California law, and I think a lot of laws out there, at least one of the parties needs to know that the call is being recorded. So the best thing to do is just have a little recording that says, as soon as they answer for quality assurance purposes, this call may be recorded. And that's all you really need to say to close that. But you should have that sometimes message. But if you record the calls, you can actually tell if some people have other people answering the phones and you're not the one answering the phone, the recorded calls will tell you where the problem is a lot of times. The person who's answering the phone. Okay, so they got to know how to close. Yes?
On the ad that you showed, 20% writing for Facebook doesn't allow, they always, they sometimes stop you.
Yes. If you have too much text.
Right.
Yeah. So there's very little writing really on this ad. This is an image, yes. Yeah. This is one JPEG image uploaded. It is. If you have more than 20% text on it, it will flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the text above that? You can write all that copy above that in wording?
Yeah, so we write that on the wording. When you upload the ad, you put it as your headline and your description and your text around it. If it's on this. Yeah. Yes, on the it actually gets, yes.
So when I created a box with the lines, grid lines that match the Facebook thing. Because if, say, that book now word, if the bottom of the letters fall into the grid, the next lower grid, it counts both of those squares as being part of the 20%. It doesn't actually look at the letters, it looks at how many squares it's in.
Oh.
So sometimes you move the letters up just a little, it's not in the next
Yep.
square. So I created a Photoshop box with the grid in it, and I can just place my letters to make sure that, because I've run into it so many times.
Yeah, so you just move
It drives
stuff.
me crazy.
Yeah,
So when you did that, did you use the ad like in Power Editor, or did you do it as a post and then you convert it to an ad and you kept the link?
we don't. It's not. It's an ad in Power Editor.
So people can't comment on it.
No.
There's not a-
Oh, they can comment. They can comment. Yeah, they can, because we put it inside the feed, so they can comment on it.
But still in the feed, but just did it as an ad.
Yes, and we tell it to put it inside the feed. We don't actually put it on the right sidebar. It actually, the ads, we put it in the feed so that it looks like it's going through there. Oh, so
You don't do all of the things in Instagram and this and that, like restrict where it can see.
correct. Only we put it only in the feed in that way. Just so you know, this little image here with the face, those of you who are earlier, and I was talking about the little things that matter. The client that was out here had a logo or another image that wasn't a face person, and the profile picture, yeah, because it pulls it from their actual business page. Yeah, that it should be a face. It actually makes a difference on the conversions. So that's what we're changing to over to a face. From a lot of people put their logo. It's actually pulling from her business page, but that is her picture. Because it seems to work. Well, the thing is, if you see it going through your feed and you see a logo, people start to have ad blindness. They're looking for actual faces because that's what they're used to. So, well, one thing is just to increase the chance that they're going to look at what's being said. This looks more like a natural post. That's why it's created the way it is.
So, Chris, did
Yeah.
you set this up as just a regular post feed, not a quote-unquote Facebook ad? You just set it up as
It's a Facebook ad that's put into the post feed.
Did you put it into the post?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that, what was that ad called? Like, it's not a carousel, is that a video or landscape?
Just an image ad.
It's just called image ad?
What is it? The actual technical?
The carousels have
Yeah, image ad.
square, and there's other, just a single image ad.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so next thing, other than the tracking pixel installed and the call number that's on the landing page, I'm going to show you the actual landing page on the next slide. But users are tracked with the tracking pixel, so when they land on your sales page, you actually know that they're there, and then they can actually be tracked and followed along after. If they leave without booking, you can actually have ads follow them to remind them that they, like I said, hurry up. It's the last minute or last few hours of it. About 50% of the internet users are multi-device. It's actually more 80%. But the stats that I was able to grab right off the bat was 50%. And conversions increased tremendously with remarketing. That's what I mentioned earlier too. Now, if you want the next page, if you want a copy of the actual pages through ClickFunnels, we actually have that. You can actually go to scvinternetmarketers.com/funnels. And you can actually copy the pages right from it in ClickFunnels. It's ClickFunnels, yeah.
We can hack your funnels, what you're saying?
Yeah.
You can hack it all day long.
Yep.
It's all yours.
Okay, so here's an example of the page. Now this is the whole page, the landing page. One page. I'll bring up the actual site on here, but I just want to show you because it's when I bring it up, it's going to. But this is it. It just says reduce wrinkles, dry skin, $19. The same thing that the ad said, and then it has claim your book your appointment and claim your free bonus as well. So there's already a bonus that we're already trying to upsell, and they put their name, email address, and phone number, and then click on book now. And then it'll take them to the thank you page. Now, here is just, talks about what they get for the facial and the special. And here's the bonus for, 20 extra bucks. They get like an arm and décolleté massage, and then some testimonials. Very, very simple. People don't want to spend a whole lot of time. They know what a facial is, and so they can be sold a little bit. So let me go ahead and show you what the actual page looks like. It comes up. So you get it. Yeah, I can give you slides. I'll put a link on the website. So this is what. Oh, how come it's not showing?
So you guys click on certified?
No.
Oh, there it is.
I've only used Infusionsoft like just for a little bit. I haven't really did that in depth, so.
We like ClickFunnels, I'm going to tell you right now, because of the cost compared to Infusionsoft is, we're not going to spend that kind of money yet. Because it's only individual clients on that point.
I'm sorry?
What do you pay for ClickFunnels?
Like $100 a month?
97, 90, 93, 97 a month? Yeah.
That's without Action Edits in the backpack?
Correct.
Yeah. Now the cool thing is,
Double opt-in on ClickFunnels?
Nope. Single option,
Yeah.
AWeber.
So how do you, if you don't use Infusionsoft to capture it and then send them the emails automatically, how do you do that?
Aweber. So this form is actually integrated with Aweber. So it takes that and automatically, once they hit book now, boom, they get an email that actually says, don't forget to call. Because obviously they didn't call if they did this. If they call, they don't need to fill in this area. But this actually captures that. And again, like I said, it's all about just repeating it, limited to 9 people to get the sense of urgency, which it's not really limited to 9 people, but I mean, we put that in there. Yeah, there is a limit. We never know when that 9 is actually going to really come up when she said, I can only take 9 more, right? So, and then of course, book and claim. I mean, it just basically tells them what to do at this point. And if you go slower on the page, then it basically then goes more into the detail, like I said, with her picture doing it. Again, another of her picture doing it again here.
So you test that with and without the bottom?
No. Okay, so this was a case study. So all we want to do is just do what we knew that should work best and just see how it worked. If it didn't work, then yeah, we would have tried something else. But you know, with 15 bookings that she got off of that, she spent $200 on the ads.
Yeah, unoptimized.
Yeah, so she got 16, oh sorry, 16, that's right. She got 16 bookings for $200. Now, after we got that data, we found out that most of the bookings, 75% of them came between the hours of 5 and 7. So now we could now define that target. Also, we targeted from what?
We targeted from
35
to 65 plus.
Yeah.
And they were all pretty much 54 and up.
Yeah. So 100. Yeah. She would have probably got most of her bookings for $100 had we known that that was it. So next time you run it, we just do only that demographic and it's refined. Run it again, and then we could actually see what can happen.
It was like unoptimized. It was I think almost $12 a lead, or excuse me, booking $12 a booking, right? And then afterwards, had we optimized and she wanted to keep it running, it would have been like $5.
Why didn't you want to keep it running?
She got kicked out of her local.
Yeah.
I guess like the owner of
You guys, right?
yeah.
No, she just ran to really just. I mean, she just set up shop. Really, it was kind of a new thing. And then the person said that they broke the lease and they wanted them out. So she had like 2 weeks to get out after that. Yeah, right after. So yeah.
So you did a 2-step funnel?
That's it.
Okay, so you just upsold one thing.
Oh wait, yeah. So let me go into. Okay. Yes. So the upsell here. Oh no, that's the bonus. Yeah, the bonus is in there. So let's go back to the slide, and then
How much work was that for you guys?
a lot. Him.
Just learning.
For him.
Well, there's more to it than just, oh yeah, let's do it this way. Because a lot of the courses and stuff that we bought, there's groups. So there's a lot of talking with other people who are doing the same thing and seeing what, taking their case study, breaking it apart, taking the better pieces, and then just dumping it in there and running with it.
You know what's funny? It's hard to get case studies on this. Yeah, it's hard to get case studies. A lot of people don't want to risk doing it. And honestly, we want people who are eager to do a case study because they're more apt to go ahead and say, yeah, let's do that deal. Yeah, let's do that. They know their numbers. So we're now even learning the marketing of Facebook marketing. There's a big difference on the type of clientele we're going to be looking for. Yeah, definitely. I don't know but you know what? Human, we all buy the same way. We all have the same things that will make it work.
Is that landing page still online?
Yeah. So all the links are on scvinternetmarketers.com on the right top corner. All the links that you're seeing, all the images, you can see the actual live pages and go through that. Yeah, it's all on there.
Chris, real quick, so if you have like e-commerce, because I just set up a new website, so if you have e-commerce where this is kind of like taking information, what would be the best? I can understand like doing a promotional thing, like say maybe this bracelet is, $10 while 10 lasts.
Okay, so e-commerce, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a different animal. But you're going to have to do a lot better in your sales copy. But the thing is, you can actually target people who are 30 days away from an anniversary 30 days away from their birthday. So those of you who are in like anything that have travel or anything else, you can say, hey, anniversary coming up or people who have friends who just got engaged or who just got engaged. I mean, you can target all of these things. Yeah, you can target, there's actually in that other PDF, it says people who are friends of people who recently got engaged. It's really crazy. All this stuff, yeah, so they can even reach their friends. Now, the thing is, if you sell the wallets, right?
Yeah.
So if you actually, motorcycle owners, you can target the motorcycle owners directly on that. Specific type of brand owners, probably on that too. You can actually start looking for, and if they have a birthday, then you can say, why don't you ask us for your birthday and target those ads on there? You know, I mean, really refine on your ads. You're gonna have to be creative. It's gonna be harder than a regular type of service, like a local business service though, online marketing. Because also your geographic areas, huge. So you're gonna have to try to figure out areas that maybe have the most Harley Davidson riders or those type of, you know, whatever your, that's why the targeting is super important. Do not be impatient like me and say, can we hurry up with you've got to dig, because I had no idea the power that you can actually do with what you get on there, but it does make a big difference. So the fourth key to success in Facebook marketing is having the upsell for those that take action, that are now ready and they're pitched in immediately. So you want to add small but profitable upsells on the thank you page. And I'll show you the thank you page on the next slide. Okay. You want to put a sense of urgency in it, like you have to do this now or you're not going to get this special upsell bonus. It's only for those who do it now. If you didn't get the sale, you're going to retarget them with a different ad, and an email follow-up should be also set up already. That's all part of your last sequencing. And be sure to have a conversion pixel set again. The reason being is if you come up with a second product or a different deal, you can actually retarget to the same people and ask maybe if they're friends or target to their friends as well. So you want to actually have that part put up. So this is the landing page of the thank you page. I mean, this is the thank you page after the landing page when they hit the book now. Now, a lot of them, yeah, there's a timer. It's a 1 hour timer that starts counting down. It resets every time you refresh it anyway. Yeah. It's ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels. It's part of ClickFunnels. Yeah, you can add it on there. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it starts with, but there's, as you notice, it's super simple. Kind of, we already got the sale, but all we want to do is now make sure we secure them. Your spot is now secure for the next hour because they filled in the form. They haven't called yet necessarily. So we tell them again, please call, book now, right? But they do have their spot saved so that the owner can call them. Hey, I noticed that you filled in our form. When would you like to make an appointment?
You didn't take the credit card right then?
No. So, and it says, don't forget to ask about the special. Don't forget to ask Lisa about the special gift we have for you. For a limited time, we're offering a relaxing hand and arm massage with this promotion for only $20. You know, like I said, 6 people out of the 16 bought the extra promo as well, the $20 hand and arm massage, and on top of that. Okay, it says hot steam towels are applied to tired, sore, aching hands and arms, cleanse and softened skin, following by calming and relaxing massage with luxurious skin soothing and hydrating lotion to repair and restore the skin, leaving your hands and arms feeling renewed and revitalized. Even I
Fill that when they called, did she bring up the
yes, yep. So they're trying to push that as well to go ahead and, you know, I mean, off the ad that was already clicked, she's trying to get anything else that she can to go, because that doesn't really, this $20, it really doesn't cost her that much more to do that part of the service after. So it's really just added bonus on that. And it says on the bottom again, another sense of urgency. This offer is valid right now when you schedule your appointment. In fact, I'm sorry, I actually I have the link right here. Again, this link, if you want to see the actual page, it is on the SCV Internet Marketers website. Yeah.
So basically, when they see that, they're not actually buying something online, or is it just the ads they're clicking? Like, what are they doing?
They're not actually buying online, but they're booking by calling and booking right then and there.
So if it was e-commerce, it would be something completely different than this, right?
Correct.
We haven't run any e-commerce yet, or that's something we're looking into. But until we actually have numbers and funnels in place to prove things, all we have is like, this is what this guy's doing. This guy's
You need a
doing.
case study?
Choice you made not to run it through a automated scheduling and payment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just to have them call her.
So it's like it's like doing huge research. You have to go based off what other people say works. And so a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, it's the barrier to entry is a lot smaller if they don't have to pull out their wallet and enter in their information. Just give them on the phone and they can close the sale. You know, hopefully they're decent at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the first, if you don't have an idea of how defined your target market is. Did you just run ads to see who they might be to gather more information and then sort of set up everything else?
Have you sold anything yet?
Not yet, no.
Is it
Oh,
local or is it national? Is it international?
It's e-commerce as well.
Okay, that's out of my arena.
you know what? You probably do. You have competitors.
Yeah.
So I would say what you want to do is you will want to start observing the competitors and who's buying their products, and then start building it around from that part of there. Or if you can like audience the people who like their pages, right?
I forgot, this is something I was learning last night. So you take a competitor, right? Take their landing page, right? The closest competitor you have. Go to their Facebook page. And you can see who they like, right? You should be able to see who they like.
Yeah.
When that little box pops up, it's like almost like a banner. You can scroll and see, like audiences, right? You can see not only your competitor, but also other people who like this, also like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can. That's how you do the like the psychographic type targeting.
You can also actually just go into Facebook and type in as a search pages like
Yes.
people who like, and then insert one of your competitors, and you'll get everything else that the same people, same interests that they have with your competitor, and you can just look at that yourself.
You just deal with the audience insights too. Is that pretty much the same thing?
I mean, it's just faster with your.
And then you just sort by affinity,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Yeah, by people who like, and then insert something in, and it'll show you similar.
So John asked, what is the real value of the total service that she's offering? Actually, it's like $100 of a fuller service. So what she did was, if it's like an hour, she cut it down to a 20-minute service, and then took a portion of that. So it's still a value, but because the whole thing is the lifetime value of a client that's going to keep coming back. Like I said, that they learn who she is. She's really good, so they got a lot of repeat. She's probably breaking even. There's like maybe no profit that's actually coming out of the service. It's her promo. So I think it's about $20 is the value of. I mean, she doesn't actually make any profit really on that original.
For what?
The
Just the front?
$19, yeah.
The 19, no.
So-
No. So what we did, we had a call with her, and so what we did was create a value ladder, right? So we kind of work backwards. Okay, what are your current specials, right? What sells the most? We'll take what sells the most, and then we'll say, okay, well, what if we did this? Or, well, we find out what the lifetime value of a client is. So let's say $1,000. Okay. So if we were able to get 10 people in, and let's say 5 of them convert into that $1,000, would it be worth it to make an offer to those 10 people for $20? Discounted yeah, let's do that. We can do that all day long. So, but we didn't stop. We can't stop there because we have to create that upsell or that value ladder. So we say, okay, it's the what was it? The Zen facial.
Zen facial.
She
Yeah.
basically took her premium facial package and cut it down so that it made sense for her. As far as time, I think it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Something
20,
basically
20?
cut down, shortened, but it was still attractive for $20. And then they had the upsells, which you saw. Well, first, can we go back to the landing page?
The first landing page?
Yeah, the landing page. The one before that. Yeah, you scroll up. So the bonus is to get them to enter their information. That's pretty much, that's like the big thing. You got them on the landing page, you got their interest, but I want their attention, I don't know, one of those two, I forget what the same was. But basically, I want to bribe my way into their hearts to basically say, oh, well, I'll get a bonus if I enter my information. Okay, let's take a look at this, because they haven't pulled out their card. So that gets them on to the next page, where we can upsell them that $20 neck arm massage,
yeah.
or whatever it was. But at the same time, so we placed that inside a series of funnels, and I said, okay, so once you have them on the phone, you're going to also remind them about that special offer, because you're not going to offer it any other time, right? So you create that sense of urgency and limited quantity over the phone. And that's when she was able to sell those products. On top of that, when they got in there, she used private labeled Amazon products that her family has, and she sold them that as well. So beyond the phone call and the upsells that were on the phone, beyond that, we didn't track any of that. So I don't know what products got sold.
How many of you have gone to spas before? Okay. Now, how many of you actually buy stuff from the spa? Have bought stuff from the spa before you walked out?
On a cruise.
Yeah.
It was super expensive.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, I mean, the percentage of actually being sold is maybe not high, but there are, yeah, by product or even other services. I mean, we've been told that people will come in for one thing and they'll extend it on the spot if there's time. They'll say, I want my massage longer, and they'll pay the extra. And even the other, they have actually their own like April deals or something like that. So somebody will come in for the 20 and they can even upsell them to the special of the deal of the day. If they have the time, they say, look, I know you're here for the $20 deal, but did you know we also have this 25% discount on this 1 hour deal? And some people are like, I might as well. What's a 20-minute thing? I'd rather stay for an hour. So the people who are actually there do have to do their sales. And that's what ends up happening from that. So that's not an uncommon, yeah.
How many weeks did you get that? $200. I forgot.
Was all of San Luis Obispo, which is 1/3 the population of Santa Clarita.
So for the targeting, now keep in mind, this is local. All my research was just for local. And it came down to, this is where you have to kind of remove that filter. Only target women. And well, we wanted to see kind of, and that's kind of what you were talking about. We wanted to buy data. So we went from 34 to 65 plus, just to see, you know, because she said that's about the range that people were coming in, was about, you know, 30 at my low end 34, high end about 65. So like, okay, well, let's just do it, let it run. This is what we call discovery. We just, you know, we're paying for data, but let it run. Let's see, you know, where the data, you know, lands. What's the hot spot? That's when we found 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and with the 45 plus or 55.
45 to 65?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we found, you know, a very specific
Yeah.
niche of people that actually converted really, really well.
That's after the fact.
That's after
Yes.
the fact. That's after discovery. So,
You set a budget with Facebook, I would spend $200.
yes.
And then they gave you a certain number of weeks. And
Actually, our budget was more than that.
Yeah. Well, on our case study, we told them they have to spend up to 400.
Okay.
So she only spent 2, but we actually put up to, I mean, we put up what we told the client they have to spend up to.
So so you didn't target any interest, and you just straight did demographics.
That was just straight because it was local. Because had we, the more narrow you target, the more people you're going to leave out. And when we're first starting out in a smaller area, just a local area, for the most part, the consensus with multiple people was when they targeted with demographics and psychographics and all this stuff within a small local area, it really cut down on the amount of clicks. They just weren't able to get the data. So they said, you know, just be fairly broad, buy the data first, see where it lands, then you can be a little bit more specific, mainly just with demographics, so just your age and, well, gender's female, but that's pretty much it. We haven't really expanded beyond that.
The beauty of this, though, is you've got this audience of people that you reached that come in and
Exactly.
want something. Now you can refine so that you're advertising to the spouses of these women a month before their birthday
Yep.
with a special promotion.
Yeah. The other thing is that now that we also know the age, we can actually refine the ad to actually show a woman who's in that age. You know, I mean, everything that starts to make conversions higher, we'll start to go ahead and do that. You know, I mean, or even verbiage that might be able to a little bit more appealing to that age demographic. Yep.
Pretty well on Google. I'm doing Google AdWords. Would it be wise to actually remove the AdWords and then focus on Facebook?
No, not with e-commerce, because people are searching. I mean, I would say you guys want to try both.
You niche products too. You're using Google Shopping, right? No. You're just talking organic. I'm sorry. You're just talking organic? Yeah. Oh. No.
Oh yeah.
Organic.
You know, Google AdWords actually is, it's still a super viable way to do it. I'm telling you right now, but the whole thing is with the better way to start doing Google AdWords is refine. So even your ads, just actually use almost the same type of funnel that's being on Facebook, which people don't. They actually say, anybody who searches any of these 500 words, take them to my homepage. I mean, it's 500 different words and they're going to one homepage. The thing is you're actually losing the disconnect. But if you have, of that 500 words, these 10 words are really relevant to this type of niche or subject, then your ad should be very relevant to that. Like what is your subject? It's motorcycle stuff, right? Okay, so vintage motorcycle parts. So if somebody actually says 67, if they search a 67 Harley, I don't know anything about motorcycles. Do they go back that far? But okay, so if somebody goes 67, then the ad should be made for a 67 Harley owner. I mean, and then the landing page should potentially take them to the Harley page for vintage Harleys of only Harleys. Don't show them anything that's, you know, the Rice Rockets, you know, stick with the main one. So, yeah. Exactly, and you can actually target owners.
People, you target Harley Davidson, you target like you can break it down to like, you know, like white Republicans or
You can.
literally like
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, even more specific, it's like British motorcycles, that makes it even more.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yes.
You got Harley riders and the British bike and European, they're not all like mixed in, you know, they're kind of their own thing, so.
So you can actually filter out.
It'll tell you, like you put in one word, boom, it'll tell you all the other words associated with it.
Yeah.
It makes it easy.
It is really powerful stuff. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. One, would it matter if it goes to a page or a post on the land page that you send them to, as long as it's clean? I guess it doesn't matter, or does it matter? Like if it wasn't in ClickFunnels, would you say?
It doesn't have to be ClickFunnels. You can actually build it on your own WordPress site, but I would get off of Facebook, so where you have control of everything possible.
Right, but would it matter if it's a post or a page on your site itself, like a
It should be a page.
blog post,
No, a web page. A single landing page.
a single?
Yes.
But like, isn't a post also a single landing page?
You can make it, but you just want to make a single landing page of a page of its own.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I have one other quick question. Where I got stuck today, because I was just like learning all this today, I was scared to put the actual Facebook pixel on my thing, and I sent myself an email with the stuff so I had it handy. But like it said to put it on the page, the land page, and the whole site.
What
Like,
you have a WordPress site, right?
Yeah.
What was the plugin?
I got rid of
Site?
in the editor.
No, there's a plugin you add on called Pixel Your Site, and then on that you can just go. It's very honestly, I just read the screen and it tells you exactly how to do it.
It's called a plugin called Pixel Your Site.
Yeah. For WordPress, you add that in there, and then you can just take the Facebook pixel, and it'll tell you, put it, and you just label it Facebook pixel. It'll put it right where you want it to, and you tell it every page or how many pages or what pages to exclude. It's very, very clear. That pixel,
Tell which page to exclude, not which page.
you get the all or none, or I mean, it's very flexible. It's very easy to follow. Yeah.
Number one, do you recommend like a good AdWords program, like $1,000? And like, there's a lot of Facebook programs that are like $9.97. Really run Facebook. Do you recommend a Google AdWords program? You know that.
Albo, you know any?
I recommend books actually. So if you were just to buy like a book from Brad Geddes, for example, who's one of the biggest names in AdWords, he would learn as much as you would.
I agree. Brad Geddes, Geddes is his last name. He's like one of the more, he's like the only guy who's certified to do advanced, but the guy's brilliant, and actually I learned a lot of techniques from him. I don't have any courses though. We kind of learned on the fly and made up stuff along the way, tested it. I'm sorry? Oh, Geddes. Brad, yep. You know what, actually, what is that, lynda.com? Go through the fundamentals of that, and then there's actually on YouTube, AdWords, what's his name? The guy who who used to work for Google that put out the videos on how to pass. Yeah, so there's a guy named Frederick Valles, V-A-L-L-E, Valles, or I don't know how, it's not spelled like Valley. Yeah. So this guy named Frederick Valles, I mean, kind of look him up there, but he used to work for Google, and he used to be one of the guys who actually made the AdWords program, helped invent it kind of thing. He has his own company now, but he actually was brought in from Google to make videos on how to pass the AdWords certification. And if you watch that, take notes, you can pretty much pass the exam even if you don't know what you're doing on AdWords. Yeah. It's kind of sad. It's kind of like that. If you look it up, you'll find them. You'll find it. Yeah. No, there's no charge anymore. Yeah, I spent $200 failing it before actually I realized they made it. Then they made it free, and then so it's free now. Yeah.
Why don't you pick it for us then?
Do it. I'll pick your.
Fiverr.com for you.
No, it's not that hard. Actually, if you want to do AdWords, it's good to go through that certification program because the tools that are in there will open your eyes to how it is the most, I mean, like I said, it used to be one of what I thought the most powerful, but it's also the most expansive. Probably there's so much power to that. But you know what? Once you learn the platform, the simple parts of it, it's not so much the tools in it, it's how well you design your flow, just like AdWords. I mean, Facebook. I mean, it's how well you are selling somebody, because there's so many people who do AdWords wrong that waste so much money on it, you know, and so it's kind of the same thing. If you actually follow almost the same steps here, be refined, you know, make your words and your ads and your landing pages all do the same thing together, it'll work out really well for you there. So here's the last part of the email sequencing. There's 3 emails that we have set up. The first one is, this gets sent immediately when they hit the submit button. It says, don't miss this important step. Thank you for your interest in the New Year's Zen at Lisa Duran Skin Studio. If you haven't called to schedule time for your appointment, please do so. Here's your phone number. And then you will get the bonus of the neck and décolleté treatment with New Year's Zen facial. For a limited time, we are offering a relaxing hand arm massage package for only $20. If you'd like to add this, simply let us know when you book your appointment. Thank you very much. So these are the people who actually hit the thank you. The next day, another one gets sent out, said, friendly reminder, Lisa here, just in case you forgot to schedule your appointment, please call a schedule appointment at 888-555. The New Year's End special offer will be expiring soon. Make sure you make your appointment locked in. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. Looking forward to see you. And then the last one is the 3rd day and the final one, last call. Today is the last day we'll be offering the Zen's facial for $19. If you have any questions, you haven't scheduled your appointment, please call. We look forward to seeing you. And that's pretty much what it does on that point there.
And who processes those emails?
It's set up in Aweber on the form, so it's all automated. We used Aweber to do it. Now,
And does that do all your other manual stuff as
yes.
well, or just for you?
Well, with this one we segmented for only this product, but you can have as many websites going to your one Aweber account and segment your list out based on where they're coming from. And then so it's that diversified. Now ClickFunnels, you have one ClickFunnels account and you can have we have multiple clients that are using one ClickFunnel for different things that are going on there, because it is a clickfunnels.com website, that the domain that it's going to. But we can set up multiple different clients. And ClickFunnels itself, you don't have to use Aweber. ClickFunnels does have the ability to go ahead and also capture the emails and do autoresponders too. It's all in one system. The one thing that's really cool about ClickFunnels is that they boast that you don't need to buy all the other services anymore. This does everything from your landing pages, your sequencing, your autoresponders, everything all in one place. And it's pretty darn easy to go ahead and just change stuff around. You just take somebody else's funnel, change their text, change their images, and then it's yours, kind of thing. So the funnel that we have put out there, you can just go ahead and, if you want to use it, you can just hit download. You set up your own ClickFunnels account. Our pages go into your account. You can just change the text. Keep the formatting the way it is. So
What's the conversion between the Facebook click to the actual filling out the form?
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So that is actually the part of my formal presentation. I'm going to have Steve answer and go over any of the technical stuff if you guys have any, but I wanted to bring something else up. If you guys know of any businesses in Santa Clarita, this is a pitch. I'm going to give you a short pitch. But it also is what I call the win-win-win situation. If anybody knows of a professional services that actually has probably that you spend $1,000 or more on their services, like cosmetic surgery, dental, even chiropractors, if medical med spas or those type of thing, if you refer us, we will give you a $500 referral fee, a bonus. If we book, all right? Yes, $2,500 to set up the funnel and everything, and then it's to set up everything, all the landing pages, all the emails, everything. Yeah, it is. We're going to raise that, but we want bigger. We're going to start smaller. We have a dentist case study. Once we get that, we know we're going to be just killing it on that, because that case study, this guy actually knows his numbers. He's a fantastic dentist. So yeah, we want anything that actually has high-end services that has good repeat. Yeah. So make sure you tell them.
Let's talk.
Yep.
We'll talk after.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now, the thing is, keep in mind, If the referral is not willing to do all of the 4 tires to keep it inflated, if they don't have an offer that we can work with, if they're not willing to go ahead and actually have somebody on the phone that knows how to answer it right and everything else, we don't want to be set up for failure. But we will not be taking a lot of clients. There's a lot of, I'm going to estimate we're not going to take probably 75% of the people who want our services, even if they're willing to pay. Because if they don't have they're not willing to do all 4, it's not worth it because we don't want them to fail. $2,500 is no small chump change on them, yes. We want to make sure that they're going to succeed, which means we're going to tell them what we need to succeed, and if they can do it and they want to do it, we'll move forward with them if we think we have a good probability of it. Anyway, the thing is, we can only take 1 dentist in Santa Clarita. We can only take 1 dentist in San Fernando Valley because we can only take 1 of each niche because otherwise we're competing 2 dentists against each other. That's not ethical. So we're only going to take 1 area. We're going to go nationwide. We have a chiropractor now in North Dakota that we're working with. And to be honest, the first time we ran a funnel, we know now that we have to be very insistent because they were a case study and it didn't work. It was at $50. They're out $50. I mean, that's not a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, we stopped this funnel.
Yeah, right away. But it's because the offer was not strong and we let it go because it was a case study. We wanted to see what would work. But immediately we just knew it's not working. We have to change some of the verbiage and they're excited. They understand now and they're now willing to go ahead and do a little work with us. So we can go into the chiropractic market next. That's one of the things. Yes.
What are you asking your customers for an initial budget for advertising?
You start with $100 advertising.
Do you do it at $5?
But to set up the funnel.
Well, okay, let me retract a little bit here. So it depends on the niche. And if we have an understanding of what a lead should cost like during discovery, then we'll say, okay, let's just start with 100 and we can work up from there. If we start to see some good momentum, like let's say 100 ad spend for a lifetime value of $1,000, right? If we can go for group 1, like, okay, well, that was worth it. Lifetime value, you spend $100. Okay, let's see how if we can spend another up to 1,000, let's see what kind of conversion we can get. Then we can narrow it down. A lot of people that I've been talking to that are servicing larger clients, they say minimum $2,000. But we've like just with this case study alone, for this niche, because it varies from niche to niche. So it's like for this one, all we needed to run was like $50 and we already knew. It's like, okay, this is going to be a pretty decent campaign. And we had enough data to say, okay, well, this time sucks. As leads started coming in, okay, this time sucks. Oh, hey, between these times, this is it. If you didn't want to, do anything else, you can take this and run with it and still, bring in new customers for $5 each.
So you created your own matrix that you feed the data through and look for the indicators and that sort of thing.
We just let it.
We'll learn it as it comes along in the first initial setup. And
what
we
you got to do
here.
is, that's how I won that competition. You got to take your string jacket. Once you hit play, once you let the ads run, you got to just
hands off
it for a little while.
Yeah.
Even when money's getting spent because.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, that's one thing it's kind of funny, but you have to just let it run. Oh, by the way, we do charge $1,500 per month for maintenance after. The first $2,500 because we have to build all the pages, do all the research, do all that part. But after that, it's $1,500 per month. But it is a $500 one-time referral bonus.
Thing that I forgot to add on there. On top of the follow-up series, the email follow-up series, we have been working with the chiropractor. I did set up a follow-up series via text messaging.
Oh, yes.
So have you guys heard of Zapier? So all it does is just bridges two different programs or software applications. And so we have Twilio, which we buy our numbers from. Okay. We use Zapier to connect Aweber. Because Aweber, we collect, if you saw the form, name, email, phone number. That phone number gets sent to Zapier. Zapier sends it to Twilio, and it goes to their phone. So that way they can text back to us if they wanted to. But it just says, hey, thanks for filling out the offer. Make sure to give us a call. Just reply to call, click the button to call or whatever. Call us and schedule time. We create a follow-up series with SMS. Now I know QuickFones has their own, but I'm cheap. I just didn't feel like
you can pay a little more on that and then get that extra added service on ClickFunnels itself too. And it's all integrated, so sometimes the extra cost is kind of worth the time saved. But Steve actually has already these systems that were actually already sitting on the side, so we didn't have to pay the extra on that one.
Oh, and how many of you are local business owners that are thinking of doing this? Right. Okay. So how many of you are local business owners that were thinking of doing something like this? they're gonna experiment or just test it out. The biggest thing, the one thing that Chris kind of hinted at it, but the biggest thing, if you're gonna test this out, is the offer.
Yeah, it's the
We
offer.
found, and I've gathered a consensus with some of these other marketers. They said you can run a $19 offer, $20 offer, $27 offer. Anything above that, it starts to really, your leads are going to start to slow down. So if you can take whatever product or service it is that you have that you can be marketing locally, and you can bring it down to like $19. And yeah, just something to get your foot in the door so that you can upsell your main service, like photo. We kind of talked about that in the previous
Steve's business.
Right now, I'm doing I just sent it out today, it's Mother's Day giveaway for canvas print.
Oh, here you go.
They get a canvas print.
That's another huge one for restaurants. It's just a free giveaway, or a contest, right? Or no, it's just a raffle, right? And it's just a lead ad through Facebook.
Yeah, giveaways are powerful too.
So it doesn't have to be a tripwire price thing, it could be a 3.
So that's where you got to be careful, depending on the product or service. So like for dentists, we never do free. It'll get a hell of a lot of leads, but the retention for those leads is going to suck. And I took that information from other people who market with dentists, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to learn from your mistakes. I'm not going to do that.
You know what's a good way to find deals too, to find out what's a good deal in your industry, is if your competitors are using Groupon. So, Groupon, they have some crazy good deals, but like say we have our offer a service for $1,000, and on Groupon we put it for $500. In the end, if somebody buys that deal, Groupon takes half of that. So we make only a quarter of really what our service would be. With Facebook ads, you can put $500. I mean, I can have $500 out of 50%. I keep all the money. I mean, I spend on ads, but I can target, and I won't get just the people who are really necessary. I'm targeting a little better on how that works. But the Groupon ads are a good way to figure out if promos are going to be reasonable, because you can see how many people took advantage of it, if they worked or not. So that's actually a pretty cool thing to look at. By the way, Steve and I do have our business cards up there. If you do have somebody that's interested that does give us a call, please let them know to tell us who contacted you. Otherwise, I mean, because we want to give somebody the credit, and how to get back in touch with you as well. So either email, say I got a friend that we contacted, and email me. Now, if you email me on my work email, I respond to those every single day religiously. If you go to my personal, on the SCV Internet Marketers, give me 24 to 40 hours. A Google search print? We don't follow the lead. They have to come to us, honestly, because like I said, the thing is, we will sit down with them for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. That's because we have to do the research. So they have to be well aware of that we need to make sure that we are going to do enough research on it to make sure it's going to be something that's going to have a high probability of winning. So if someone says, well, I didn't know it was going to take that much time, it does take. And when Steve actually even sits down with a dentist, he says, I need 1 hour to 1.5 hours of your time to make sure this works right. And they will call us in after hours, and we'll sit there, and then we get to go over everything with them at that time. But it does take that kind of time to, I mean, we can go over with an office manager who knows everything about the company. That's fine too. Doesn't always have to be the owner. But just keep that in mind, because we have to look at the psychographic demographic really, really closely. Steve will drill the crud out of them for questions on that.
An industry that you might know of, like you're talking about chiropractor in Minnesota. If you get into that industry, you'll kind of.
Oh, you know what? Every area is different, because different people live in those areas. You might live in a town that actually has coal miners, and they come into chiropractors because they have that. So we can target now coal miners, which we never would have targeted down here in Santa Clarita, kind of thing. So it makes a difference. And we ask, who are the type of people? What do they do? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? Who are their friends? Where do they shop? What do they eat? I mean, all that kind of questions. He asked that. We found some really, I can't share, but we found some really interesting stuff about the type of people that go to chiropractors that we never would have, spas, never would have thought that they're this group of people, because women at a certain age, these are not women in that certain age. These are somebody totally in a different realm. That's like, wow. And they refer like crazy. So we know that we can hit that niche now and target those people. Yeah.
In my particular business, I don't have something to give away other than my time.
Real estate, right? You know what? Oh, real estate works really good.
We've been wanting to run a real estate agent.
Yeah. People have been filling up open houses with like 75 to 100 people coming into the open house. Anyone? This,
I actually ran some company, you know, it was like they were gonna take my open house and put it on Facebook and everything. And I think I spent $100 for the ad or whatever. It was like $100. And I got some leads, but it wasn't, they weren't quality leads. They were like people living in an apartment that couldn't afford the house. But my question now, because the kind of market we're in, is more, I want home sellers.
everybody wants home sellers. Yeah.
So is there, and what, I mean, what's the giveaway?
To attract home sellers? I don't know. I don't know.
You have to just offer a lot of good content for them to look at over time.
And that's the thing, there's so much content that people can get without.
Who are the people who are going to be selling? Because you can actually find people who are recently separated. I would target everybody who's separated, everybody who's recently divorced, maybe anybody who's going into retirement, people who are going through life changes. Even people who actually just had babies, because sometimes they now realize, oh my goodness, my house is too small. So that
target people who are separated, have a good income, and have a good credit score?
Yes, that you can. Yeah, you can. As long as they put on their profile that they're separated.
You have to figure out the offers.
Yeah. No, well, see, so that is one thing. Some industries, there might not be an offer that's going to be really, really powerful. I would create an ebook. Create an ebook on life changes and best ways to go ahead and sell your house fast and effectively.
Years and years ago, when we only did mail postcards,
Mm-hmm.
that's all it was. We used to have a raffle off like a TV or something that.
A free giveaway of something that's not really related is going to be it. Yeah, it is.
One of the things that you can do is market yourself more than anything else. And then have like wills or other real estate places do a lot of the work for you.
Yeah. Real estate is one industry that has a lot of competitors.
If that place has been covered already by you, because there's a lot of people that definitely need this.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you can get your local
Carpet business, and they can offer, when you give that offer.
Even if you just got them a coupon, staging service, the house.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Ebook, I mean, here's the 6 things you need to do, and in the back there's a bunch of coupons.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. It wrinkled my brain.
Okay, so it is a little past 8:30, and I know some people don't want to leave. But so I want to give if they want to leave now, it's an opening. But if you have any questions that you are dying to ask, please. I said I really want to make sure nobody leaves without questions in their mind that other potential people here could answer for them. Yes.
Could you just explain the pixel process a little more? I've used it before, but I really didn't understand it that well, and I use it on Facebook. I haven't used it on Google, but does it go with a single campaign, and does it go with images? Does it change? What happens to the pixel? And
the pixel.
Where does it go?
It just basically cookies somebody. Okay, so basically, if you have a landing page and someone visits your landing page.
Where does it generate?
Okay, so you start. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a good. So you go to Facebook. And you actually will go into the area where it actually generates a pixel in the advertising section of that. It'll generate a pixel, which is just about maybe 7 to 10 lines of code. It's a little box of code. And it's going to ask you to put it into your website between the header tags. And if you use WordPress, that plugin works it. You set all your pages. And then it goes on top of all your pages, that little thing. So anytime a visitor hits those pages, Facebook is now registering because the code sees those hits. Other people who are, and it follows that person around from, as long as they don't clear their cookies or their cache. But the good thing about the Facebook Pixel is, if they're logged into Facebook and they hit your page, even if they log in, it now has told Facebook you visited that page. So you can clear your cookies, but if they go back on Facebook later on, it'll show up again. I clear my cookies all the time, but Facebook still follows me with all the ads I've ever been on anything else I've been. So, but it also could be that they're hitting me by psychographic or demographic things too. But it is there.
a number of the pixels from various campaigns on the page, or is a pixel, I mean, just put it on the landing page, because I have a page that has a lot of different pages.
You might as well put them on all your pages.
Didn't Facebook go to a single pixel?
Yeah, it's a single pixel that you can put on that one pixel. That same code, you put them on all your pages. So on WordPress, you put it inside that pixel helper thing, and it'll go.
Per advertiser or per ad?
It's per user. Yeah. So you, the user, it's assigned to you. Yeah.
Chris, this will be something, and I know, like you said, you're working out the e-commerce, but I would have to research this because I just have a new bangle that I'm putting on, but I'm on Shopify, which is the e-commerce site. So I don't think I have access. Well, I may or may not. I have to ask them to access to where, if I had that code, either I put it in a blog page or where would I?
Shopify has a spot that you put it specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. So Shopify, you can, it's because you run that site, so you can actually do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you talk about finding out what you don't know. I just discovered how much I don't know. I know now what I don't know.
Mhm.
Is there, I know that things change so fast, I've been really hesitant about buying any type of book or written material because I figure by the time it gets to me, things would have changed. But is there any, and I just looked up Brad Geddes and I said, well, that's way past where I am.
You know what? If you're starting with AdWords, go to lynda.com first, because Brad Geddes is advanced.
Yeah.
But he does teach you some of the best techniques, but you have to understand AdWords at a fundamental level. Use lynda.com first.
Okay, will that help me as far as just the basics? I mean, you're using terms that I'm going like, this is a brand new language for me.
Yes, lynda.com will help you a lot
That's the
earlier.
LYNDA, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been on there, so I didn't know that they would.
They cover everything. It's amazing. They cover everything.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, she has a Lynda tip for you.
What? In Los Angeles, I don't know if it's out here, but in Los Angeles County, you can go to the library. Your library site, and you can. You have free access.
Oh, yeah. Try your local library. They might have it. For lynda.com. Yeah. No, if you want it for free. Yeah. Yeah. It's $27 a month or something. Yeah, this is pretty cheap. Yes.
Okay. I have an Etsy site.
Okay.
Which is not friendly for setting up your own page.
Correct.
It's just using random, and when a person clicks on their search, there are search engines. So when they go in there searching for tropical safe date magazine, they'll show up out of the 25 versions I may have. They'll only show one version, and they click on that, and they say that's not what I want. And they don't look around.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in Facebook advertising, I've got a really good hot selling invitation, right? And I've got a lot of hits on the boosting ads that I did. Like
Okay.
But in this formula of putting up the ad and then having more information, which I wasn't doing, that was only probably one-liner.
Yeah.
Then having them go to a website landing page.
Yes.
Which will give one more information on that particular invitation, give them all they need, and then clicking through to the Etsy site.
Correct.
Would that?
Increase conversions? Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Yes.
right now they go there and they can't find what they're looking
Exactly.
for. They can buy.
Okay, so Fran, those of you who have a question about e-commerce that sell on other sites, Fran Jessie actually has a Etsy listing, and she's asking if she sends directly from Facebook over to it. They seem to get distracted, basically is what's happening. I highly recommend going into the funnel that's kind of like this, starting with an ad, but taking them to a page that has no distractions other than just your stuff, selling it. Have a video if possible, because that'll increase your conversions, and that's where you actually. And then if you want to send it to Etsy, if not, then actually close the sale right there.
Yeah, we're taking them to the Etsy
And do my.
Yeah.
They'll be zeroed in, and all the information, they know they're in the right place.
Yes, and that's what happens with my Amazon store. If I send them from AdWords directly to Amazon, I don't close sales. But if they go to my landing page, they're convinced to buy my stuff. By the time they get to Amazon, they're already buying it.
Yeah, the other thing is, like, if we're told I had a lot of likes,
Yeah.
what did you tell me about how to capitalize on that?
Okay, so you can actually, all the people who liked your stuff, that's a demographic, or it's a audience. So now you can use that audience and target everybody who actually liked, that are like the people who like. You know, that you're gonna have to ask Steve on where to find. I don't know where the like audience part is. Okay. Yes, sure.
I remember a member here before that was very into private label in Amazon. I think they're husband and wife. Do you know any about it?
Oh, actually, Kurt, in the yellow striped shirt.